Okay, everyone, welcome back. This is going to be the second video in our series on how to pre-plan your screenplay using Script Screener. If you have not watched the previous video is on how to create your project, and so obviously, you would need that one in order to be able to move on to this one. But let's jump into it. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll log back in. And once we log in, we are going to go back to our workshop, and we can see here this is the one that we made, and so we are going to just build off of this. And this time around, we are going to build a character. So we're going to come back up here, and we're going to do the same thing that we did. We're going to say we're going to add a character. And that is going to bring us to this page. So now it says, what screenplay does this character belong to? Obviously, you're going to have tons of different projects. In this case, there's only one we can choose from. But this test screenplay is going to be the screenplay that this character belongs to. Now, if you were to go back and delete that test screenplay, and let's say you finished the screenplay, you wrote the screenplay is ready for coverage, you're sending it through coverage and everything, and you want to write a sequel, all you would have to do is come back into editing these details, and you could pick another screenplay, and you could put this character in a different screenplay as well. So it's very, very functional in that kind of way. But so we'll just go through, and we'll make this John Smith will be the character's name. And very generic on this one, as well. Now, date of birth, we're making you do the actual date of birth. So let's say you have to figure out how old he is exactly. And so let's just say he was born in 1989 and on October 1st. And so that would make him, what, I think 32 years old at the time of this recording. And so then we can move on here. He is going to be a male. And then we'll say, what are his hobbies? And you could just go straight bullet points with this. Let's say he likes golf. He likes football. He likes exploring. He likes ghosts. And we'll just we'll kind of leave it there. But all of his hobbies and the things that really kind of take over there, that would be all the things you put in this box. Then what does he love? So we could say he loves his mom. He loves let's see, his wife. He loves his children. And we'll say that he also loves his car. Okay, and of course, again, these are just kind of generic, but, put it on here, so that way you can be really elaborate about this. And then what things does he hate? We could say zombies, serial killers, call back from the last video. And then we could say missing people. And you kind of get the idea. These are all the things that he hates. So then what does he fear? Let's see. We could say he fears being killed by a serial killer. Okay, and now just keep in mind, because of course this is a light example, but in a lot of these screenplays, you want to dig deep on these, especially if it's a comedy, or something like that where it's not necessarily based around fear. You want to go deep into why the character does the things that they do, and what causes them to take certain actions, and really kind of play this out, because like I said in the last video, the more work you do up front, the better it's going to come out in the end. So we'll just add one more here. So what does he fear? He also he fears orange juice. it's an odd fear, but let's just put it in there, right? So And then what does he want to accomplish? He wants to accomplish, we'll say he wants to accomplish a safe community for everyone. And so, let's see. And then over here, which by the way, this, what does he want to accomplish? This is the character's motive. Like, what does the character want to accomplish over the course of the screenplay? So throughout the screenplay, you're going to see glimpses of John continuously doing things for sake of keeping his community safe for everyone. You know, and these sort of things are going to shine throughout the screenplay. And so you want to make sure, you know, like I said, again, you're very detailed on these characteristics because when you do that, a lot of that is going to shape the voice and the actions of the character in the future. Okay, so what was his childhood or past like? And we'll say John was a good kid that once got beat up by a kid with a serial killer t-shirt on. And let's see. Yeah. From that day, he hated serial killers and needed to get even. All right, and so now here, and this is a very, very important part, this is their relationship to other characters. So you would have to see what other characters are actually in the story in order for this to make sense. So what are his relationships to other characters? Let's say Olivia is a character, and that is going to be his sister. Oh wait, actually Olivia has an I in it. Sorry to all the Olivias out there. And then we'll say Steve is going to be his brother. And then June is going to be his mother, because remember up here we said that he loves his mother. And then also we should probably put his wife. So let's see, so his wife's name could be Alice. That's his wife. Also we said his children. And so let's see, we'll put in another kid. We'll say Brian is his son. And then we'll say, we'll say Alicia is his daughter. Okay, and then did we mention anybody else up here? Nope. So, and also, if you would like to, and this is completely optional, but because there is no limit on here, if you wanted to go even deeper, you could say things, you could include objects as well. You know, you could say, you could do this two ways. So you could say, let's say Gunner, which is his car. Well, yeah, so Gunner, and then you could say his car over here. So that way, you know, anytime he mentions Gunner, he means his car. So you could do it that way, or also down here you have additional notes about the character, and you could just say Gunner is the name of his car that he loves very much. Okay, and we'll add on to that for a second. So what is the purpose of this character? So for this character is the protagonist in the story. He is the character that exists to save the community. Okay, and again, very much, very elaborate on these. And also, I don't care how small the character's role is. I don't care if they have one line, if they're just somebody who, like, literally in production, you would be hiring an extra for this, like a featured extra that just doesn't say anything or doesn't do anything. I don't care about all of that. Still fill out all of this information, because all of this information is important because it shapes the entire story. So with that being said, just be, elaborate on these. And so additional notes about the character. So that is, right, so that's part of it. But then also it says mannerisms, birth defects, disorders, substance abuse, anything that makes them different and adds to their personality. So we could also say that we could say that John was a Boy Scout. He also enjoys playing pool on a Friday night, and I know this is going to ask to be capitalized. Yep. But then here's where we kind of add it. So let's say on a Friday night he does not drink alcohol. And maybe we might throw in why. So let's say he doesn't drink alcohol, say for religious reasons. Okay, and then what else could we say about him? Let's say he has a minor tic in his left eye. And and so, but you get the point. So these are all of the additional notes about the characters, their mannerisms, their personalities, anything like that. So now that we have all of this information filled out, the next thing that we want to do is submit it. And just like the first video, it is going to show up there, and you'll see John Smith. That's his date of birth, his gender, and then you can view the character and all of the character's information right here. And so that way you can call back on it later on, and then also you can see you can edit the character just the same as you can with the screenplay, and that will allow you to change any of these details. So if, like, say for one reason or another, for the story to work, say his childhood has to be different, you can go through and change that and adjust it, and you would just update it there. But for the most part, that's pretty much about it. And like I said, that edit character, that's where you can kind of change them around from story to story. And in addition to that, once you're done with the character, you can, of course, delete them right there. So any questions on that, you could always contact our support team, and they'd be happy to help you. But that's how you make a character. And so in the next video, we are going to be doing scenes. And so look out for that video shortly. Thank you so much.